Time passed 4 hours and 28 minutes. What an odd number. After everyone else has cleared out the command room for the night, you stay behind to wait for Woljif, looking absently at the sky as the first stars begin to appear. As stealthy as he is, you don't even hear him until he announces arrival, quietly clearing his throat. He looks at you, then chuckles nervously and looks away again. Yes, I mean, we kind of rejected him romance related, didn't we? It's kind of feels like a romance. I've been thinking about how to say this all day, and now I'm standing here and I don't remember a damn thing. He scratches the back of his head and glances over at you, though he's hoping you'll tell him it's no big deal and you can both forget the whole thing. But after a short, awkward silence, he sighs and mutters, "Well, too late to bail out now, I guess." The tiefling gulps nervously, his face a deep burgundy color. Well, Chief, I think... He takes a deep breath, summoning every ounce of his courage and forces the sentence out in a rush. It gets quieter with every word, until you can barely hear the end of it. I think I might, kinda sorta have just a little bit of, a crush on you? Bites his lip, daring to look at you. Even though I think it's a little bit buggy, cause I mean we already settled on Ulbrig. Just a little bit? Okay, so it's not a little crush. Woljif admits, looking over the edge of the balcony. He's legitimately considering jumping off to escape the embarrassment of talking about his feelings. Chief, I've never felt this way about anybody before. I don't know what the game would do if we would accept to that. And while I'm usually not too much into going for polyamorous options, let's try it out and hope the game won't back away. I mean, the Woljif romance anyway is a mod, so Alistair, I didn't even know he was a romance option. He's not. There's a mod for that, and a really good one. And I think the only modded romance I found. Let's go for that. I mean, Ulbrig and Woljif. Why not both? One goes in and holds Woljif's hands. I feel the same way about you. You really? Woljif's head snaps up, and he makes the mistake of looking you in the eyes. He's trapped, unable to look away again. A broad grin spreads across his face, and he laughs quietly, whether in disbelief or relief, you cannot tell. I love you, Woljif. Logan Aldori. For a while, Woljif is too choked up to say anything more. Instead, he just wraps his arms around you and pulls you into a tight embrace. Finally, he whispers, I love you too. And Logan goes and kisses him. As your lips touch his, Woljif freezes, unsure how to respond. But then, he melts into your embrace, returning the kiss awkwardly, but wholeheartedly. His tail curls around your leg as his hands slip around your waist. When you pull apart, he stares into your eyes, utterly spellbound. After a moment, he pulls you close and kisses you again, eagerly, almost desperately, though to make up for a lifetime deprived of affection. Stay with me tonight? The tiefling blinks rapidly, looking a bit surprised. Is something wrong? No, it's just, Woljif furrows his brow as he attempts to articulate his thoughts in words. He just caught me off guard, you know? I've never really thought about it, I guess. Never saw the appeal. He shrugs, and then offers a smile. But, I'd be willing to make an exception for you, Chief. So many options. Are you sure? I don't want to pressure you into anything you're not ready for. Woljif nods, giving you a reassuring smile. Yeah, I'm sure. He shrugs, his grin turning impish. Who knows? I might even like it. Well, I hope you do. Well, if you say so. He grins, his tail swaying playfully. Wouldn't be the first time you changed my mind about something I thought was overrated. Lead on, Chief. With a contented sigh, Woljif snuggles closer to you. You know, if somebody had told me back in Kenabres how this was all gonna turn out, I'd have thought they were completely out of their mind. He chuckles softly. Woljif grins and plays out his reaction to this imaginary somebody with all the heavy skepticism he can muster. You're telling me I'm gonna fall horns over heels? Oh, that's such a cute expression. You're telling me I'm gonna fall horns over heels for some big shot crusader and become some kind of legendary hero fighting on the front lines with him? Get out of here. But here I am. He nestles his face into the crook of your neck. And falling for that big shot crusader is the best thing that ever happened to me. I have to say, I mean, it is just a mod, but I think it's really sweetly and nicely written. Well, you had me at Hey Dreamboat, even if you were just trying to talk your way out of a jail. Woljif chuckles. I might have been trying to talk my way out of jail, but I wasn't lying. He looks at you with undisguised adoration as he continues, more softly. You're handsome. I love you, Logan Aldori. I never imagined I could be this happy. I don't want this to ever end. It's also sappy. I love it. It won't. I promise. I will always be here for you, Woljif. I love you. I'm gonna hold you to that, Chief. Without waiting for a response, Woljif leans in and kisses you softly. For 2 hours. And you know, let's rest.
You're always harping on about how everything's terrible and the suffering's only just started and all that. So why are you always smiling? I don't want my suffering to start. I'd actually prefer it if I suffered as little as possible, thanks very much.
But what you want and how things are, they're two different things, right? Let's not wish for anything, and just enjoy what we have now.
Doesn't Ember always try to change things? Nice.
I can handle it.
I completely forgot what I wanted to do. I wanted to sleep and I wanted to go somewhere after that, didn't I? I want to go to the Storyteller. I don't think that was my plan before, but, well, who am I to remember
Can't make
stuff?
the demons wait.
The streets. Let's drink something so I don't get hoarse, or too hoarse. But I say, this game is really taxing my voice. Where's the Storyteller? Here you are. Of course I know what's going to go on now. I'm meeting the Storyteller and I will have to read lots of stuff again. Hi. The blind elf whispers something under his breath. Hearing your steps, he turns to you slowly. Greetings, Logan Aldori. Have you brought me a new story? Yeah, let's do those things and then go for the pages. And I also want to look if I can repair some of the artifacts we have. You know, I actually bring word from Kinney, your friend. His soul was being held by a Rushkagal all these millennia, but I helped him break free. He asked me to tell you that the warm, spiced wine you two used to share in the tower was the best wine he drank in his life. The Storyteller flinches. Kinney, my friend, after all this time, I never expected to hear your name, to hear a word from you. I didn't think this would still matter to me after so many years, and yet I am glad, touched, saddened. I cannot make sense of what I'm feeling. He remembered the wine. He oft-times. I never heard that expression. He oft-times sat there on the tower's balcony. It's not a sigh, then smiles. I apologize, but I'm not willing to continue this discussion. This is too personal. But I thank you for helping Kinney find peace. I mean, already before, it really sounded like Kinney and him were involved in some way, right? Or was it just me shipping? You know, Nocticula spoke well of you. She says hello. The old elf's face is as blank as a porcelain mask. Her favor flatters me, and the memories of the times when I was younger warm my heart. Also fill me with other, darker feelings, such as shame. It's sad to remember how foolish and self-satisfied I was back then, how much I enjoyed the fear and respect of the spawn of the abyss surrounding me, and how I completely belonged to the Lady in Shadow, who charmed me the moment we met. In those days, I was different. Tomoyo-chan definitely sounds like they were a thing, right? Didn't we, like, restore things? I think it was this menu. Yes. And Logan gives the storyteller the piece of cloak and the necessary materials. Restore this relic for me. Dazzling light erupts from the storyteller's hands. The light pulsates, forcing you to squint in pain, and when it finally fades away, you see a thick cloak in the elf's hand. This relic is truly legendary. It has absorbed power that is too heavy for this world, but I have a feeling that this cloak will suit you well. On the bound of possibility. Let's give him also the shard of the Shield of Erodin we got from, what was her name again? Karenai. The storyteller lays his hands on the dark piece of wood, and his unseeing eyes stare into the distance. Erodin is dead, but his shield shattered into pieces. But this shard points to hidden possibilities, like a guiding star. I see 3 paths. The first takes the form of a ring, the second a belt, and the third an amulet. Each item will be imbued with the memory of Erodin's deeds, but which calls to your heart? In general, I would say ring is like the cheapest accessory slot. Tell me about the ring. This miraculous item will be the embodiment of the 7 virtues of the Islanti leader. Wealth, fertility, honest pride, abundance, eager ambition, righteous anger, and peace. The last Islanti, Erodin wanted only the best for the human race. Let's quickly skip over the other ones. Amulet. Something about fury and the belt. Power and commitment. I choose... Wrong voice. The storyteller needs solemnly and awaits your decision. Whichever one you choose, the item will still serve you honest and true, just as Erodin gave all of himself in service to humanity. I choose the ring. Storyteller's hands begin to glow. The light surrounds the shard of the shield, immersing the object and hiding it from the view for a moment. When the bright light fades, the only thing left in the storyteller's hands is a gleaming ring. Let's give the storyteller the broken gauntlets and the necessary materials. The metal on the elf's hands take the shape of armor plates. The demon blood sizzles on them like on a red-hot grill, and the essence is absorbed, leaving behind a greyish residue. This relic is called the Stern Hand. It was the name given to it by its owner, the Sarkorian witch hunter. The 2 gloves represent the bond between 2 beings. People who wear such relics do not live for themselves, but die for others. Yikes. Let's show the Mask of Nothing. The storyteller touches the mask reluctantly. I see darkness, endless, total, and empty. I see... I don't know what it is. I can't make it out. A flash, a flow of power, the birth of something I cannot fathom. I hear a wild roar rising from the depths of emptiness, resonating with flashes of the light. If I had ears, I'd be deaf. If I had eyes, they would burn. But I'm just a grain of sand in the middle of nothing, with no will, no goal, no name. The old man gulps and takes his hands off the mask. I do not understand exactly what it is I saw, and I do not want to. Not all riddles need to be solved. Some you just accept. I think we should get rid of the mask. So, last but not least, show the mask of the most worthy. Storyteller touches the mask reluctantly, and his eyebrow immediately shoot up. I see darkness, cold, endless, hiding numerous secrets. I feel someone's presence in this darkness. Someone is waiting for me there, and this mask is a torch designed to pierce the darkness and reveal age-old secrets. Just put it on and... The elf brings the mask to his face, and suddenly stops. And still, I sense deceit. It's as if, by agreeing to wear this mask, I will learn much, but I will lose just as much. I have no idea what this mask is or for whom it was intended, and yet somehow it looks remarkably familiar to me. I think it was for him. Storyteller frowns, weighing the mask in his hand one last time, before shrugging and returning it to you. Interesting. Okay, let me drink a sip of lemonade, and then we will show some more pages. And as usual, I will skip the standard ones, and if there's something more we find out, I will read it. The storyteller clenches the pages you brought. His voice becomes a bit younger, more energetic. My feet are covered by a crawling carpet of locusts. A few insects got under my clothes, on my shirt, down my back, in my pants. They are crawling all over me, tickling my skin with their little legs. They will not attack until they recognize me as a stranger. Protective spells are guarding me, allowing me to deceive the pestilent denizens of the rasping rifts. I keep very still. I am but an observer, an uninvited guest who prefers to remain unnoticed. I don't hold my breath when Demon Lord Deskari swings his scythe over Isagnia. I feel nothing when Isagnia deftly avoids the blow and tries to strike Deskari in return. I'm here by the order of Lady Nocticula. I must observe the fight and then return to Lishinira. The affairs of the Demon Lords do not concern me. Who is Isagnia? She's a rising Demon Lord, servant of Lamashtu. She simultaneously inhabits 7 mighty ant-like bodies. Izyagna, and Deskari are always sniping at each other, but they dare not enter into open war, fearing Lamashtu's wrath. The storyteller chuckles. The current fight is just a small quarrel, 1 in a million. Izyagna came to the Rasping Rift with only 3 of her 7 bodies. I'm sure it will be easy for Deskari to destroy the intruder. Nothing better to do? Where's your friend Kinney now? Storyteller's lips part in a smile. Here with me, of course. The Summon Lad refuses to stay in Lishinira and volunteered to accompany me to the Rasping Rifts. He said he wouldn't miss such an exciting adventure for the world. His youthful zeal and desire to live life to the fullest seemed to make me younger too. Please continue. Rift Carver, Deskari's scythe swings up again. With a whistle through the air, it lodges in the ant-like head of one of Isagnia's bodies. Green slime splatters, the poisonous drops falling on my face. I keep very still. With a last convulsive movement, the ant-like body winces, tearing the scythe from Deskari's hands and jumping back, only to drop on its side and lie still. This loss will hardly worry Isagnia. To kill her, one must destroy her heart, which is hidden deep under Yanaron, a city in Lamashtu's realm. Disarmed, Deskari turns to Isagnia's second body that is attacking him. Why do that? Why attack if you know you're kinda losing? I slowly turn to Kinney, who is sitting next to me. My young friend is usually easily impressed by such mighty opponents fighting, but the seat next to me is empty. Kinney is gone. Oh. The storyteller shivers and starts speaking faster. Forgetting about the danger, I look around for my friend. The swarm of locusts at my feet buzzes, displeased, but the need for secrecy no longer seems important. Where's Kinney? After a moment I see him, and a treacherous shiver runs down my spine. My friend is standing over Isignia's fallen body and reached for Deskari's scythe sticking out of it. Please, continue. Kinney, stop, don't touch it. I scream, throwing caution to the winds. My friend turns to me, his face baffled. I understand him to an extent. The scythe able to rip passages between planes will certainly help us save Golarion, but trying to steal it is rash and stupid. We have nothing to defend ourselves against the Demon Lord's rage. Stop, my friend, before it's too late. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Deskari lift another Isagnia's body and tear it to pieces with his bare hands. But I don't hear his howl of victory. The Demon Lord throws away the still body of his enemy and turns to us. The swarm of insects is biting my feet. Locusts cover my eyes, hitting me in the face, trying to get inside my nose, mouth and ears. Nevertheless, I get to it first. I grab the giant scythe and swing it awkwardly in the air. Rift Carver is so heavy, my hands instantly cramp. I have no idea how I managed to lift it at all. I drop the scythe on the ground, but the damage has been done. Right in front of me, there's a small rift, a wound in space. The smell of Ilshinira sewage comes out of it. A wonderful smell that brings me hope for salvation. I grab Kinney's sleeve and dive into the rift only a moment before Deskari's claws cut the air between where we just stood. Storyteller catches his breath and wipes the sweat from his forehead. I have angered a demon lord and my life was hanging by a thread. I'd never had thought something like that could happen in my life. Storyteller shakes his head distrustfully. How many dark sides of my past will I have to find? I'm starting to fear what I might see in the next pages of my notebook. Let's see. Not enough for another sequence. Righty. Let's head out. And think about what we want to do next. Ah, yeah, what I wanted to do was going back to the island and using the cheat to win the fight. Let's do that. Run, Logan. I also do wonder how long I will still have
Let's see what we can do.
left to explore and play in this game. Kinda seems like I already did quite a lot in Act 5. But I mean, looking at the quests, at least at the main quest, like, okay, I did 2 out of 7. And there might be more. I mean, I completed quite a few of the companion quests, so I guess that's something. Oh yeah, before we leave, the Bound of Possibility. Zata shares a bond with her dragon. 50% damage is redirected to Ivu. In addition, Ivu gets additional DRN, where N is equal to the Zata's mythic rank. Let's try that out. And see if that's a smart idea or not, or if we're just killing Ivu faster. Stand hand, strength ability score. Break. Go. 7 virtues of a true ruler. Skill checks. Ooh, bonus to skill checks. I wanna have it. There we go. And you know, we will just drop those. We can always take them up again if something happens. For the time being, let's leave them here. Or they seem evil. Okay, and we're gonna take Lann again. And then we have our typical party. Okay, Court of Dreams. Such a huge game. I wonder how many words and pages of text they wrote.